Once upon a time, there was a very smart boy named Jack who lived with his mother and a cow they called Milky White, whose milk they sold at the market. But one day, Milky White didn't give any milk. So Jack's mother sent him off to the market to sell the cow. Jack took Milky White and set off towards the market. Along the way, he met a strange old man. The old man told Jack that he would trade Milky White for 5 little beans. Jack thought it was a good deal, so he traded the beans for Milky White. When he got back home, his mother wasn't very pleased with what he had done, and he was sent to his room without any dinner, while his mother angrily threw the beans out of the kitchen window. But the next morning, to their surprise, there was a very tall beanstalk that reached up high into the clouds right outside their front door. Jack was curious and decided to climb up the beanstalk. When he reached the top, he found a huge castle. And when he went inside, he found a lady ogre. Jack was very hungry, so he asked the ogre if he could have some food. The lady ogre thought he was so cute and helpless, so she made him some food. He was about to start eating when the lady ogre's husband came barging through the front door, so Jack hid in the oven. The ogre sniffed the air with his huge nostrils, then boomed, "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." Concerned for poor Jack's life, the ogre's wife said, "Silly dear, there are no Englishmen in our house. Come eat your supper." The ogre sat down with a grunt and brought out his bags of gold from his day's work. After eating, the ogre lumbered over to his bed and fell asleep. Jack crept out of the oven and took one of the ogre's bags of gold, and then hurried back down the beanstalk until he got home. Jack and his mother lived very well on that gold, until it eventually ran out. And Jack went up the beanstalk again. He asked the ogre's wife again if he could have some food. She thought she recognized him at first, but decided that he was probably a different person. The ogre came home again and said again, "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." But Jack was already hidden away in the oven, and the ogre's wife said again that there were no little boys there. So the ogre ate his breakfast. After his breakfast, the ogre brought out his little hen that laid golden eggs. When the ogre slept, Jack snuck out of the oven again and took the hen that laid the golden eggs, and went back down the beanstalk to his mother. But Jack still wasn't satisfied, so he went up the beanstalk one last time, the next day. But this time, he snuck into the house himself, and instead of hiding in the oven, he hid in a pot on the stove. The ogre returned home and checked everywhere for the smell of a little boy, but he didn't think of looking in the pot on the stove. After his breakfast, the ogre brought out his harp that sang the most beautiful songs and fell asleep once more. Jack snuck out of the pot and started to run away with the harp, but the harp cried out, "Master, master!" and the ogre woke up. Jack ran for his life with the golden harp and scrambled down the beanstalk with the ogre thundering after him. When Jack reached the bottom, he quickly grabbed an axe from the shed and started to chop down the beanstalk. With a boom, the beanstalk fell to the ground, and the ogre with it. With the ogre slain, Jack returned home safely with this treasure, and he and his mother lived happily ever after.